So a few weeks ago, I did a complete review and a build of the Cougar Explorer chair that I'm sitting in right now. It's super comfortable, but I feel like there could be a little bit more. So I contacted Cougar about this and they're like, hold on, that's a great chair. It's more kind of a budget chair. It's still a comfortable chair. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is comfortable, but there's more. So they recommend 2 different chairs for me to review. They sent me both, but in this video, I'm going to be reviewing and building and everything the Argo chair. The reason I was so interested in this, it's not a gaming chair. It's more of an office chair. They're like, yeah, it's an office chair. I'm like, wait, that's exactly what I want. But anyway, let's get to the build. Let's go ahead, put it together, and let's go ahead and test it to see how good it is compared to the Explorer. And then you'll see in a few more weeks, the other chair I'm going to do the same to. So let's get started. So just a quickie on the outside of the box. Argo, we can see here, the chair itself. On the side of the box, just Argo in big font. The other side, same as the other side. And this side just kind of goes over everything on the chair, specs, features, all that good stuff. Let's get to the unboxing. All right, so that you guys know what comes in the box. I feel this is always incredibly important. We have the headrest. Now, you can see it is perforated, so to help it breathe. And then we can see kind of a nice suede material here. Feels very nice and soft. And then their embroidery over here along the back. Just that. And then we can see over here that this will arc a little bit, and where that connects to the back of the chair. We'll get to this, of course, during the assembly. Then they include an Argo guide, assembly guide. You don't have to worry too much about this. We're going to go over this all in this video. And then the back of the chair, this feels really nice. Feels like quality material. Not kind of sure yet what this is, but it feels nice and sturdy. As you can see here, a mesh net backing feels nice. So, see how that sounds. Then along the back here, you can see the little arc for your back. This is going to be so interesting. This is not a Chinese star. This is actually the base of the chair. Interesting, where you put the wheels on. Or it looks like a wheel for a car, a hubcap. Look at that. And this seems to be steel. Feels very nice. Kind of running out of room to stand in here. Wow. Okay, so I'm just doing this so that you can see everything that comes in the box, and it really does come with a lot, it seems. All right, so this box comes with the piston, blue top right here. Then a bag with the Allen wrench, screws, nuts, and bolts here. And I'll show you that in a little bit more detail in a second. All right. And then where you sit your arm, you can see the base here. And then your armrest, looks like it goes up and down, back and forward. Looks like it might be, yeah, it's a 4D armrest. Nice. Same thing here. I'll skip the unboxing for that. What looks to be like the lower lumbar support. And then Not too sure on this part, but we'll see in a sec. Then a bag with all 5 of the wheels. Kind of sporty looking wheels there. Cool. And they seem a little bit bigger than the previous wheels on the Explorer, but I'll see in a sec. And this is the seat. It is incredibly heavy. Feels like the heaviest part. See that all here. And then with the same netting for your butt to sit on. We got everything out of here, so let's start the assembly. Oh, then you can't miss the white gloves. So white glove assembly, very nice and classy. So you get a better idea of what comes in the box in the little baggie I showed you earlier. So you'll see 2 different sized Allen wrenches here, then 4 of these screws, 4 of these screws, 4 of these washers, 4 of these washers here to lock it, and then 1 single lonely of this screw, and then 4 of these right up here. Step 1 is going to be putting on the gloves. Alright, I'm either Michael Jackson or Mickey Mouse. Hee hee! Okay, so now we're going to be putting the piston right in the 5-star base. Pretty simple. With that there, we'll just flip it over. We'll start putting in the wheels. For that, you just grab one of these and just push a little bit. Alright, and they go in pretty easily. Alright, now put this aside just for right now. Okay, so now on this one, we're going to be putting the headrest on the back of the chair. Now we have to go around the back of the chair, and you'll notice there's a little screw right here, and we're going to be putting this right there, kind of clamping on that. And I'll zoom out. I just wanted to get a little closer to show you. Okay, and we're going to be using that single screw, the Highlander of the screws, with the smaller of the 2 Allen wrenches. And again, we're going to be using this little piece right here to clamp onto over here, and then kind of lock it in place. And then we're going to be using this hole right here to screw it into the bottom, the back of the bottom of the chair. So you could see it there. Again, that screw right there. You might need to move it once or twice to get it perfect. All right, and then just slide in that screw with that Allen wrench. And it feels like pushing this down a little bit helps. And just to make sure it's nice and tight. All right, now flipping the chair over, we're going to be inserting the lumbar support right into here. And if you notice, there's 2 screw holes as on there as well, and then here as well. So we're just going to slide that in, and then we'll flip it over. Okay, and that'll expose the 2 holes right over here. And we'll be using these 2 screws. So I'm just going to push them in first with my finger. All right, and then we'll just go ahead and screw them in. We'll still use here the skinnier of the 2 Allen wrenches, so you have a better idea of what I'm doing. Just spinning that right in there. Now when they're in good like that, now we're just going to need to take the L portion right over here and just tighten it, make sure it's nice and tight. All right, that's nice and tight. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and flip her over again. Now we're going to insert the seat right here. One very interesting thing to show you, notice all these little wires and cables. That looks pretty cool. But aside from that, that's just me being a geek. Just gonna go ahead and dump this piece right into this hole. And actually it doesn't go in the hole, it goes around the hole. Just hard to find a good spot to hold it. Now we gotta hold it in place, so let me move the camera around a sec. All right, so here is where we're going to be using the big black bolt here, and then the locking washer, and then the regular washer. So we'll go ahead and put the locking washer in first, like that. Then the regular washer here like that. We're going to be using it right where we slid in the base of the chair. We're going to be using one here, 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 and here. And we're going to be screwing in with our fingertips first, just to secure it. So the way I'm doing it is one here, then one here, then one here, and then one here. And now it's in the perfect spot that wherever we move this to, it's not going to hit anything. So it makes it easier to work with. All right, and now I kind of did it backwards. I should have put the arms in first, but I felt it more comfortable to put them in last. So we'll just slide that right in here, and it fits perfectly. You don't need to hold it in place. And then here is where we'll use the remaining silver screws. 1, 2, 3 right in here. Makes it really hard with these gloves to put things in with your fingers. And then we just want to make sure we tighten it. Now we want to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put the seat onto the base of the chair. I have my son Xavier here helping me. This chair is extremely heavy. Okay, so.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Up, up, up. Okay, go ahead. Let's go. I believe we'll just push it down.
So I've been using the Cougar Argo now for about a week. And I've been editing this very video using the Cougar Armor. So I've been sitting on it for hours and hours and hours upon days. And I have to say, this is, if not one of the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in for many reasons. One thing I don't like, and I'll go over all of it right now. So first off, the fact that it is mesh on the back and mesh on the bottom is amazing, because as I'm editing, I can feel all the wind hitting my back, hitting my butt. Yeah, I know wind is coming down, but it bounces. And you can feel all the freshness. You're not going to sweat from it. Now, mind you, I'm comparing this to my favorite after this one now, the Maingear chair, the Aspen white chair. It is an amazing chair. Now it's taking a backseat to this one. That chair was amazing. Every single thing about it was awesome. But if you're sitting in it for a few hours, you might sweat a little bit. Aside from the comfort, very comfortable. This is equally, if not more comfortable, because of the mesh. There is no bottoming out unless you just fall through it. But this will hold up to 330 pounds. I'm 260, so thankfully I have ways to go. But anyway, the cooling is amazing. The height adjustment you can see here. So at its very lowest, we were about 17 inches from top to bottom, or 14 inches from top to bottom from the very front of the chair. Completely elevated, we were at 19.5 inches from the very front, 17 inches. And then it has a ton of features, not only for comfort, but to adjust on your size as well. So the headrest, for example, for me, this is the most comfortable. Looks a little bit awkward, right? But if you're taller, or maybe, have different posture, you can just move that, adjust it as you like. Or maybe if you're taller, and so you can go it is amazingly customizable. And this is, aside from being sturdy, strong aluminum, is incredibly difficult to move around. You need to put a lot of weight in it to move it around. This is the most comfortable. And aside from the mesh there, keeping you nice and cool, this over here just feels really nice on the back of your head. Mind you, my head and my neck are not constantly on this, but when it is on it, it feels comfortable and not incredibly plushy, but you can see that there is some give there. So you could just slam your head back on there. It's like, oh, I just messed up. I just got killed, or I messed up editing or something. And it's not going to hurt you. Now, another thing I've never seen in a chair is you're sitting down and maybe you're too far back, or you don't like the way your legs are hanging over here. You want the seat to hit your calves or whatever. You can actually slide this out. So this is the seat fully retracted, and that's fully out. It goes up to 60 millimeters, either forward or back. I've never seen this before. Now, it does have the regular 4D armrest, which is pretty standard. Nothing amazing on that, but the fact that it's there is nice. So aside from the seat coming in and out, it is a fully reclining backrest up to 130 degrees. There we go. So up to 130 degrees. It is on the lever right next to the one that pushes the seat in and out. So that is nice. You can't lay down totally on it. I personally don't like that feature, but some people do. Now, another thing that I've never seen before is this dynamic lumbar support. Now, it's not just a lower lumbar pillow. All of them have it. It's kind of like a bumper. So you see how I push it and it goes in and out. So depending on how much you need, that will conform to it. So that is an awesome feature I've never seen before. So it is fully adjustable, which is pretty awesome. It has 3-inch casters or wheels, which is pretty standard, along with the 5-star aluminum alloy base, which is nice. It kind of looks like a Chinese star. Now, the thing I don't like about this chair is, from my sides, it only goes 18.5 inches. Okay, now I'm fat, but it's going from side to side. Now, I'm about 18.3, but give or take, lean a little bit, I'm hitting the side, and unfortunately there is no way to make it bigger. So I just want to let you bigger guys like me know about that as well. So you might have seen the assembly and the review I did on the Maingear Forma R Aspen white chair, which till this date is the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in until I got the Cougar Argo. The Cougar Argo, as I mentioned, because of the mesh, has to be the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in. Not only the mesh, the neck rest, the lower lumbar is awesome. The 60 millimeters forward. This chair has it all. It is so customizable. Now, mind you, with all that customizability and durability with the aluminum alloy throughout, it is $50 more expensive, but $50 more expensive for so much extra comfort and the cooling, which to me is like tops. The comfort, the fact that it is so customizable, you can visibly be taller and this will adjust with you. I think that is pretty awesome. The Cougar, and I say this with a heavy heart because the Maingear's been awesome to me, but the Cougar has dethroned the Maingear. Mind you, these will be my main two chairs in this office where I do all my reviews for you guys. But more than likely, this will be the chair I'm always sitting in to do editing and all that good stuff that takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And gaming too, whenever I find time for it. But as always, please do click like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about this video. If you have any questions or concerns about the chair, if you own this chair, I'd love to get your feedback on it. But as for me, 100%, 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10, well, maybe 9 out of 10 because of the 18.5. But this is an awesome chair. I recommend it to anyone and everyone. I'm going to have links down below as well so you can pick one up on the Amazon store. But again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you like this video, you feel like it's helped you, go ahead, buy me a cup of coffee. Helps me out tons. With that, I keep This Bytes For You growing. All right, my friends, that's it. This is Iggy with This Bytes For You. See you guys.